don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 627th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Stand by as some of the background and things are a little goofy and weird. We're trying some different things out here as we are getting close, ladies and gentlemen, to the big reveal of the new studio. I think I'm looking at Sunday, this coming Sunday, as being the new reveal for the new studio. And so we're just testing some things out and doing a couple of other things here. So just stand by with us as we continue doing that. And I'm trying to get this sent out here to a couple of places that we need to get it sent there. Okay, we're done with that. I hope you guys have had a good day. We weren't here last night because last night we were having some technical difficulty with our connectivity last day, yesterday, I think it might have been something that Randy gave us after we watched the whole mouthwash thing. I think he may have passed on some bad internet juju to us, rather some 1991 AOL dial-up connectivity. It was not a good thing. And so after we got off the show, basically at the end of the show that night, Tuesday night, we were having some lagging issues or whatnot, and basically all day yesterday we had those same issues. So I apologize for that, but ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. We are back this evening. Everything's always fixed. Everything's almost fixed, and Howard or Sproles should be sheriff, period. That's insane either way. Both of those people are two sides of the same extremely bad penny, bad coin, whatever you want to title that there. That's fine. You can't watch. Hey, no worries. You're free to watch. You're free to go on. Perfectly fine. Nobody here cares. You don't have to announce you're coming in or you're leaving. It's perfectly fine. I should not meant to say. Oh. Okay, hold on here. Wait, back up. Let me make sure what she's saying. Should not be. Oh, okay, good. No. Good. All right, sorry. I thought that you were saying crazy things. Okay, well, you're good. Either way, it's fine. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to get right to it. We are going to talk about these couple of things. First up, we're going to be... I didn't think that you were one of the weird people in the weird camps. It's okay. I apologize, and we're all good. So, okay, first and foremost, John Sproles has officially announced his re-election bid. It happened yesterday. I was chomping at the bit. So a couple of things to let everybody know. We do have the official mascot here of the show. You guys are aware that the mascot of the show is... I don't have him up anymore. I got to put him up. But you all know it's the Nobody, Mr. Nobody, the owl. And it's wonderful and everything's great. Yesterday, we actually went through and we received a studio buddy here at the show. And I had planned for you guys to meet the studio buddy tonight. And you might later in the evening, but the studio buddy is not here currently. And so, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that at the moment. But you might meet the studio buddy later tonight. If not, you will definitely meet her tomorrow. But I will put this up on the screen so you guys can see. This is the new studio buddy, ladies and gentlemen. Her name is Spotlight, and she is a French bulldog. And she is the best kind of French bulldog because she only came with 3 legs. When we were putting her together, we missed one of the parts or something. I don't know really what happened. And she's only got 3 legs. So it's okay. She still functions perfectly fine. It doesn't affect any of the function of the creature. I can tell she has a little struggle going up and down the stairs. Tripod, that's another nickname that we've got for her. But yeah, that's the new studio buddy. She is my new soul animal, my soul dog. And so she's wonderful. And hopefully you guys will be able to either meet her in person later this evening. If not, we will have a meeting with her here tomorrow, and she's pretty cool. She's been doing some really... Yeah, right. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, it's very, 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 very bad, the whole breathing thing. But I'll tell you, the thing is that it's the whole 3-leg thing. The 3-leg thing is kind of... She's got 2 up front and 1 in back, and so it's kind of strange. She's missing her back left leg. I don't know if I dropped it along the way somewhere or something, but it's okay. It's not affecting the function, so it's no big deal. We'll be able to work. Yeah, her ears are wonderful. I love the ears, and so that's fantastic. So that was one thing that I was looking for. There's Mr. Nobody. That's the actual mascot for the show, but then the other is like the studio buddy. So we've got to have all these little knickknacks and thing all over. People's like, just do the show. Okay, we're gonna get to the show. Listen, we are gonna get to the show here. I needed to put this on the Political Spotlight page because I did not have it there. Okay, so I was really chomping at the bit and wanting to do the show yesterday because of all of these things that were going on, but we had no connectivity. So we're doing it here tonight, and that is all that matters. So, all right. So tonight, like I said, John Sproles, we're going to be talking about this, his announcement. It's very strange, okay, that he announced this yesterday. He could have announced it the day before. He could have announced it the day like today. But nope. He needed to announce it yesterday, Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, which coincidentally is on his wedding anniversary. Imagine that. He chose to announce his re-election bid on his wedding anniversary, even though his wife did not want him to run for re-election, was adamant about the fact that she did not want him to run for re-election. But hey, what's one more way to slap her in the face, right? You know what I mean? Like, God, I feel so sorry for her. It's just absolutely horrible. Sproles announced plans during his re-election announcement to speak directly to the Henry County voters. I was kind of impressed with this. He made some statements that he would be speaking directly to the voters of Henry County, unlike one of his opponents, Mr. Dandy Randy Tweedle-Dee, Howard the Coward. But not so fast, everybody, because he did also set several limits on who he would respond to, how he would respond, and all of that. So much like Howard the Coward, he's also trying to avoid any real questions, which I find to be interesting. He also made a very strange claim about Henry County being in the best financial shape it has ever been in, adding that this information apparently came per Councilman Shannon Thom. So producer Kate, doing what she does, reached out to Councilman Thom and the other counselors and commissioners, possibly. I didn't look at all the recipients, but she did reach out to these people, and Councilman Shannon Thom did respond. So we're going to talk about what that's all about here in just a little bit. And then before wrapping up on Henry County politics, I have a few final words about Randy Tweedle-Dee's performance on the Mouthwash Talk Show on Tuesday. It was real frustrating, and we then started having issues, and we just left out of here. So I have some final thoughts on that since some time has passed since that train wreck, and I'm fully able to reflect on that mess. Then, moving on from there, we will be moving up into Madison County, Indiana, where the county election board has met this morning, Thursday, March 26, 2026, at 10 a.m. They needed to hear several complaints about their bizarre clown of a candidate running for sheriff themselves. It's not just Henry County, folks. Madison County also has an idiot that's running for sheriff. His name is Jonathan Culp, and we're going to be talking about that, talking about what happened at the Madison County Election Board meeting. The meeting was handled per usual in the Madison County way, meaning nobody in a position of power truly knew what they were doing. They kind of Madison County'd the whole thing, you know what I mean? We will talk about that meeting, kind of walk through that and see what goes on there. And then finally wrapping up, we will head to my hometown, Muncie, Indiana, where we will discuss the brief, silent Muncie Board of Works meeting that was held yesterday, Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. The meeting lasted just under 9 minutes and was an outright joke, but it's just about pointless anymore to even say, like, what's going on in Muncie. It's really crazy, but somebody has to, so I guess that's what we're here for. We're going to be covering that. And then we're also going to be talking about this drone situation going on in Muncie, where the council and the commissioners back a month ago said, wait, we don't have enough information. We can't do anything more with this. That apparently made the police chief mad, apparently made the mayor mad, so they figured out a way to just go around those two bodies. And they've now apparently entered into an agreement. The mayor has entered into an agreement with the commissioners. The commissioners apparently have enough information now, and screw the council, because we don't need the council to vote on things. So that's what's going on. So moving on, first and foremost, I want to get straight in here to Sheriff Sproles' announcement. It's rather interesting. Looking here, we're going to be looking here at in Henry County. Okay, that's where we're going to be. And then, then we're going to be doing this Sproles announcement here. Sproles announces his re-election bid, and I'm going to pull up his. Well, at one point, this was his official page. Now he's trying to run it like it's a campaign page. I really don't know. He doesn't know what he's doing, and that's part of the problem. So he announced yesterday, Wednesday, the 25th of March, at about 5 o'clock, 6:58. He made a Facebook post and put it up on Facebook. I don't know if he posted it anywhere else. Maybe the Henry County Sheriff's Department newsletter, also known as the Courier Times, they may have posted it someplace. I'm not 100% sure. They may have done that. But essentially what's happened here is he's posted this, and I know it's going to be hard for you guys to see. I'm just showing you that it's here. You guys can see it. I'm sure most of you have seen it by now, but I'm going to read through this and then we'll talk about it. And if you want to go see this, I'm reading this off the John M. Sproles Henry County Sheriff page. So he has it up at the top and it says, important information. Today is our 31st wedding anniversary and campaign kickoff day. Dude, what a punch in the face, man. What did you get me for my 31st wedding anniversary? Oh, I announced that I was running for re-election, something that you didn't want me to do. It's been an honor to serve as your Henry County Sheriff since January 1st, 2023. I am looking forward to personally answering all of the questions that you, our Henry County citizens, have. Okay. Following are important dates, and this is very important, folks. People need to keep these dates in mind. Sproles says that he will be doing 3 live Q&A sessions on Facebook, on this Facebook page, okay, on Mondays, okay, so they'll apparently always be on Mondays, April 6th, April 13th, and April 20th at 6 p.m. And they're apparently going to be unedited and uncut. Okay, it's going to be interesting. He says, I am certain we will be talking about beanbags, lawsuits, insurance, pursuits, and whatever you, our Henry County citizens, want to talk about. This is going to be utterly amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. We will also be talking about department-wide culture change. Okay, I agree. There's been a pretty big culture change among the department-wide. I absolutely agree. He says, our official Henry County Sheriff's Office mission statement of do justice, love mercy, and be humble, because I love to be, quoting things that we don't actually do. We just like to quote. Yeah, Brad Sawinski says, is Randy going to be asking questions in the chat? I certainly hope that he won't be, because that would be rather hypocritical, right? I don't feel like he should ask the sheriff another question, because as a candidate, Mr. Howard doesn't want to answer questions. And it's always funny that he has a lot of questions to ask, but he doesn't have much in the way of answers to give to people who have their own questions. Sproles goes on that he wants to talk about how they have eliminated the F word, just absolutely, completely. It's not even a word anymore. And look, that's fantastic. I kind of think that there are probably people who would care less if their sheriff's department was using the F word than killing people, shooting people with beanbags, pursuing you to your death. But, hey, I'm proud. He cut down on cursing among the officers. So that's cool. He wants to talk about his focus on the care and well-being of their inmates. That's almost laughable. Like if I was going to write this for Sproles, this is what I would have wrote up for him. I can't even make this up. Okay. He wants to talk about his care and well-being of the inmates. Keep in mind, they just cared and one was cared for so well, and the well-being was taken care of so well that they actually passed away less than a month ago. Tomorrow will be 1 month. So that's really insane. Now listen, they have had drug and mental health and chaplaincy programs. That's great. What about regular medical? I kind of want to know about that. They've baptized over 150 inmates in 3 years, which we know because we've seen every picture of it. They put it out there, and they're very forthcoming with all of that. And that's probably...
Look at it this way. Before he does something dumb, and they end up unalived, at least their souls are taken care of.
Listen, hey, I guess that's something I can be happy with. I hope that that's truly happening, and that's great. I tend to wonder how much of it is jailhouse religion, which sometimes happens. It's not for me to question. That's between those individuals and their creator. But hey, look, I guess if they're going to try to kill them in there, it would be a good thing to save them first. So that is probably good. He wants to talk about being fully staffed and updating all standards of operating procedures to 2026 from the 1990s. He wants to focus on training and preparedness, updating equipment, steps that they have taken to eliminate... I can't even read that. I can't even read this next line. He wants to talk about the steps that they have taken to limit liabilities. Okay. He wants to talk about saving taxpayers $10 to $15 million through their adamancy to not build an addition to the jail, while nearly doubling the amount of countywide arrests compared to the previous 3 years. We will also talk about the fact that our county is this is wild, ladies and gentlemen, that he, honest to God, put this in here. We will also talk about the fact that our county is in the best financial shape it has ever been in, per Councilman Shannon Thom, and many other positive changes. Now, keep that line in your mind. Okay, that Sproles wants to talk about the fact that the county is, he doesn't say was, he doesn't say will be, he says is in the best financial shape it has ever been in. Side note, per Councilman Shannon Thom, and many other positive changes. We will not be mudslinging at other candidates. Well, that's good. We will not be answering questions from fake profile accounts. Now, keep in mind, I don't know how he's going to judge or know who or what that is, because for nearly a year, he considered an actual living, breathing person who is a voter with a voting history in Henry County. He considered her to not be a real person based on her Facebook profile. She's on Facebook under her name, and he was like, nope, that's not a real person. You're Kristopher Bilbrey. And so he, is it going to be like this? Is it going to be, if there are people from his church that ask questions, he will answer. And those questions are, how do you do it? How do you do what you do and go home and sleep at night with all of the people that hate you? I'm sure he'll answer that. What if a person is from Henry County and they get on and they say, why are you not in the office more? Why are you out patrolling the highways and the roads and getting yourself into trouble? Is he going to look at that account and say, oh, hey, yes, John Doe or, Timothy Smith, you are not a real citizen, so away you go. Who's going to dictate that? Okay. Who's going to dictate that? That'll be interesting. So I don't know. We'll have to find out how that is. Okay. He says, we will stick to the facts while being considerate of feelings. Ooh, okay. There will also be a live candidate forum, all county level candidates at Newcastle Library on Thursday, April 2nd, starting at 6:30 p.m. You can bet your behind, God willing, I will be there. He didn't say that, I did. Okay. Then he says there will be a sheriff candidate only live debate on the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast Facebook show on Thursday, April 23rd, 7:30 p.m. And we will be there to watch that as well. He puts the link and says you can watch that when it goes live, yada, yada, yada. He says we will be putting out signs soon. DM this Facebook account with your address if you would like a sign. Please do not put out any of our signs on public property, streets, corners, or any other location that we do not have sole permission from the landowner. Last note, I want as many Henry County citizens to be able to participate in the live Facebook Q&A sessions as possible. To better facilitate the above, please invite your Facebook friends to like this page. How to do it? Navigate to this Facebook page, click on the three dots directly under the last S in Sproles. At the top of the right corner photo, you know how to do all of that. As your sheriff, I answer directly to you, our Henry County citizens. I'm looking forward to connecting with you all at the polls. Vote for Sproles. That's what he says. And then to top it off, he puts this picture up, and we've got a lot of questions about this. I want to know, put a 1 in the chat right now, everybody, if you think this is a new picture, and put a 2 if you think it's an old picture. We have people that are wondering, is this new? Is this old? We cannot tell. I will tell you what my answer is here in just a moment. Let me see what everybody says. 2. Surely there's got to be somebody that says, no, this is an old picture. This is a new picture. I mean, someone's got to be out there saying this is a new picture. Is nobody saying that this is a new picture? Is there nobody? He couldn't have lost that much weight that quick. Yeah, that's where I'm at. He looks fat here, but she looks way older. So I think it's recent. See, Rachel Clark, that's interesting because first and foremost, she's smiling. I mean, they're both smiling. I don't think that this is recent. I think this is old. I think that this is an older picture. Is that his daughter? No, this is his wife. This is his wife. I think that this is an older picture. I truly do. I don't. I think that this is an older picture. I don't think that this is new. AI Photoshop. It's a real picture. It's a real picture of two real people in a picture in time. I just don't think that this is a picture from yesterday. I don't think that this is a picture from this year. I'll say it like that. I thought his wife was black. Okay, we'll move on from there. So her hair was super curly for years. Listen, all I'm talking about is when I say old picture, I mean in the last 2 years or last 3 years, maybe from right around the first election. His face looked thinner here. So that's interesting. I'm interested on what people's thoughts are on this. And normally we're not commenting on stuff like this. The only reason this matters is because he has seen some weight gain. And, there's a lot of questions about, is the married couple, are they still happily married? Well, what's going on here? And I normally don't talk about all of those, but it is just, it's the reason I'm talking about it now is just to narrow out, we want to know that these people are telling us the truth. And I don't want them taking any steps to give misinformation and try to say, hey, like quick over here. It's like sleight of hand deal. You know what I mean? So, all right, moving on from there. We will see. I'm seeing all the comments of the people saying that Purdue won. Yay, Purdue. I guess that's thing. That's a good thing. West Orchestra Box still in existence. I don't know. I don't know what that is. South Lobby. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. Maybe that would help to say if there's something going on. I don't know. He posted a picture in the same clothes a year ago. Yeah, I've seen some of that too, because I use a picture that he has of this suit, which, if it's a suit, he could wear it a couple different times. So I don't know. Just putting it out there. So that's that. Moving on, really quickly, I think that we need to talk about this situation where he has made this strange post, this quote that listen, in all seriousness, he put this in his announcement. So he's attempting to attribute this to Councilman Shannon Thom, okay? But it's Sproles is using it because he's wanting, to get apparently the credit. Because what's funny is there's nothing that he does that really deals with that. He's trying to use this and letting people think that it's because something that the sheriff's department does. The sheriff's department hasn't done anything to help guide the county into a more positive financial situation. They don't do things like that. That's not in his wheelhouse. I have records request in because he's recently been purchasing a command unit and new cars and things like this, and all of the lawsuits and all of the insurance issues being his fault, on top of the fact that the sheriff's department doesn't deal with the county's fiscal situation. He's doing his level best to wreck the county's financial situation. So when he puts up a quote that says, we want to talk about the fact that the county's in the best financial shape it's ever been in, per Councilman Shannon Thom. Okay, that's interesting to me because, I hear this and I'm thinking, I'm hearing this and I'm thinking this just does not make any sense. So producer Kate, doing what she does, contrary to one person's popular opinion, is doing the work that she does. I do a lot of work. Brandon does a lot of work. We all just kind of pitch in, and there's a lot of things that people don't see behind the scenes because you see just what's going on here. You don't know what we're doing or not doing throughout the remainder of the day when we're not in front of your face. Okay. And so there is this thing called email, and producer Kate sent out an email. I'm trying to get, I don't understand why let me do it like this. I'll just open up another email here and get away from that. Oh, I see why that was doing that. Okay, here we go. So producer Kate sent out an email today, and she wanted to get an understanding from the council. So she sent this out to Ken Gray, Mike Regner, Shannon Thom, Bobby Plummer, Jay Davis, Scott Kuntz, Chad Malacote. So she also sent this out to the commissioners as well. Dellinger, Hoon, Wiley. Okay, so she sent this out to all of these people. And what she sent out was this. An email here. We're going to pull this up here so you guys can see it and read along. And this email says, oops, that is maybe a little too close. There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have a question. Sheriff Sproles recently posted an announcement on his Facebook campaign page about some upcoming live question and answer sessions for his re-election campaign. In that post, he discussed some of the topics voters can be expected to learn about during the live Q&As. In the post, he said, "We will also talk about the fact that our county is in the best financial shape it has ever been in, per Councilman Shannon Thom, and many other positive changes." She went on to say, my question to you is this. Is this assertion that the county is in the best financial shape it has ever been in an accurate picture of the county's current financial state? I watched the recent meetings where the insurance was discussed and the concerns about how to pay the premiums and uncertainty surrounding the deductible payouts. I also noted that several things were tabled for later discussion and decision that would in the past have been readily approved. The tabling was done, to my best understanding, out of concerns over the insurance situation and the high costs that could come from that. I am also aware that many counties have concerns over how SB 1 and the changes to property taxes can impact revenues. I would like to know, in your opinion, is the county truly in the best financial situation? Thank you, Kate Thornburg. Well, as I got to be honest, I'm a little disappointed, as generally happens. We didn't hear back from many of these people. All right. So Kate contacted 7, 8, 9, 10. She contacted 10 public officials. And out of the 10 public officials that she reached out to, she only heard back from one. But in my opinion, this was the one candidate I'm looking here. I was just seeing this comment over here. Since she was, there was only one that responded, and it was the one that mattered. Sorry, I was reading Kate's. Kate had a message over here, and so this message that this person gave us is the one that really mattered because it's Shannon Thom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back here because I don't want to show you all of my emails. I'm going to pull this down, and then I'm going to show you this response from Mr. Shannon Thom. And his response goes like this. Shannon says this: what I said to Sheriff Sproles was that we are in the best financial position we have been in since before the state implemented property tax caps and circuit breakers. That would have been about 2009 to 2010. That comment is based on a review of those years of county finances I did back in 2014-15 compared to now. I was specifically referencing the trend in general fund reserves. This comment was made prior to the changes in insurance. So I want you to be
Surely Sproles wouldn't take a comment about the finances out of context.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And so for anybody that might have been confused about just what happened there, that was producer Kate not coming on acting like cutesy little girl, she was coming on as a smartass saying, playing up the joke that Sproles lies and makes people see misdirection. I know most people probably get that, but I think we have a couple that are out there that are confused by things. And so I make it easier for people to kind of understand. If people are going to be here, I want them to know fully what's going on. I guess we have some blind and deaf people here. Okay. Yeah, that's nonsensical because basically what Shannon did there, listen, from what to the period after reserves basically doesn't matter. The only thing that we need to know about is this right here. This comment was made prior to the changes in insurance. And the reason I say that that's important is because that means that comment was made prior to a couple months ago. A month, at least a month, if not a couple months. And the county's fiscal situation has become very bleak over the last couple of months, certainly over the last month. Okay? So I just want people to be aware when Sproles is making claims and doing things, and anybody that needs a really good basic course on how Sproles hears questions and how he relates material to people, I would tell you to just simply go watch the deposition, because you can hear when Sproles is hearing something and then he's formulating a way to say something that's not truthful but trying to make it sound truthful. You got to be careful of that. So I think that's very interesting. Now, there were some other people that were interested about this. It wasn't just us here at the Political Spotlight. There were several other people that were very concerned about what Sproles was trying to make this look like here, because obviously people knew what he was doing was not truthful. I mean, it's very clear. It's just, as clear as the nose on my face that he's attempting to just completely snow people over here. So one of these people also took it among themselves, took it beyond on themselves to email the counselors, or at least Shannon Thom, and ask the same question. And so we had someone that sent me these messages. Now, these messages are public record. Anybody is free to get them. However, the person that sent them asked me if I could block their comment out or their information out. So I did. But anytime I need people to know, anytime you email public officials, it's all public record. Okay. And can you tell me, Kate, or anybody else, are we having any issue with lagging or anything tonight? Because I think I got that fixed. I just need people to let me know. Very good. Good. Okay. So here's the first email that went out. And it looks like this person just sent this to Shannon. Good morning. I'm inquiring as to the sheriff's posting that you stated Henry County is in the best financial situation it has ever been in. Did you say that to him? What proof do you have for this? Thank you for your time. Okay, so we've got that. All right. Now let's from there go and see what he says. He says, what I said to him was that we are in the best financial position we have been in since before the state implemented property tax caps and circuit breakers. That would have been in about 2009, 2010. That comment is based on a review of those years of county finances that I did back 2014 through 15 compared to now. And he leaves it off at that. Now, to me, I really have a problem with how Shannon answers this, because this is almost kind of helping Sproles lie to people, because there's way more to this. There's not as much lag, but blinking a lot by the lighting, turning you into yeah, right. I still got to fix the light stuff. When the actual studio's up, the lights will be perfect. So we're just in a kind of a little hole how we are here. I apologize for all the weirdness. But yeah, this was kind of like cover Sproles' ass situation. But this person didn't leave it here. They sent another email and they said this: "Thank you for your timely response. I think there appears to be a huge disconnect and misunderstanding of how this is being stated. The county commissioners and county council meetings are live cast and on YouTube. They are clearly claiming a financial crisis due to sheriff's department's liability, lawsuits, and the exponentially drastic increase in insurance. Stating you are basically uninsured due to the deductible and premiums and the over $1 million for down payments on insurance. So how do you account for the best position financially you've ever been in if you're uninsured for practical purposes and you pay an exorbitant amount now on insurance? Please explain. Thank you again." Okay. Fantastic. Shannon responds again. And I gotta give him credit for responding. He says this: "I was specifically referencing the trend in general fund reserves. This comment was made to him prior to the changes in insurance." Okay. So I wish he would have put this in the first response, but I'm glad that he followed up, and I give him an attaboy for doing the right thing here. But this did not stop the person, because there was still more question here. And I agree. This person says, "So are you retracting that statement now and saying that you are no longer in the best financial position ever? Thank you. Just clarifying so no one gets the wrong idea about it." I love it. I absolutely love it. Shannon responds once more for the final time, and he says this: "I absolutely stand by my statement made at that time it was said in the context it was said in." That's a very weird statement, Shannon. So basically what this says is, no, I don't stand by it now because I said it before all of the craziness. Now the craziness has happened and I'm here. So no, I certainly don't stand by it at this point because things are different. He should have said that, but he didn't. What he did here, again, is try kind of obfuscation. And this, while he's responding, and I appreciate it, I would rather him not try and blow smoke up anyone's ass. This is really crazy. "I absolutely stand by my statement at the time it was said and in context it was said in." So that's like saying at one time, O.J. Simpson is my hero and I love him and I would invite him over to babysit my children and my wife. He's a hero. He's a national treasure, someone might have said before he cut the heads off of his separated wife and the man from the restaurant. But now, would you say that you love O.J. Simpson and you would invite him over to babysit your kids and your wife? No, I think that people probably wouldn't do that. So if you then said to me, well, do you stand by that now, today? Do you stand by that? If I said to you, yes, I absolutely stand by my statement at the time that I said it, you can take that to believe that me saying that means, no, I clearly don't stand by it today. He's a murderer. Well, he's dead now, so it doesn't matter, but you get what I'm coming from. You know, when Shannon is saying this,
it was true, though. A lot of people looked at him as a hero. And at one point in time, what he said was true. The county was in good financial position for the reserves. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, right. Not so much anymore. Do you think, Chris, that he will lose his mind and go off the rails if he doesn't win the primary? Oh, yes, beyond all shadow of a doubt. My wife does not need a babysitter. I didn't say babysit my wife. Maybe I did. That's not what I meant. I meant babysit my children and I don't know, spend the night with them. I don't know what. I was trying to figure out something I could do because he didn't kill any kids. He's probably not a kid killer. I was trying to figure out a way because he did cut a woman's head off. So I was trying to figure out a way to work an adult woman in there. My sister. Would you invite O.J. Simpson over to hang out with my extremely beautiful blonde sister? Hell no, he cut the last one's head off. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I don't stand by that statement today. Shannon Thom, you need to think about your answers here, bro. That's kind of screwed up. You know what I mean? Like stupid. If you're asking if we are in that same financial shape today, the answer is no. Well, why didn't you say so? Like, why did we have to go through this bunch of nonsense to get to this? If you're asking if we're in that same financial shape today, the answer is no. Sproles said this yesterday. Sproles didn't make that post a month ago. Sproles made that post yesterday. Shannon, let me tell you something. Shannon needs to go on Sproles' post and clarify that. Matter of fact, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to screenshot this and post it over there because people need to know that Sproles is attempting to lie to them. Okay? Duh. In addition to the insurance changes, the state has put us in yet another position of declining revenues and made changes so that we cannot implement any fix until 2029. This is the line that Sproles needed to put there. Okay. I believe we have a rough few years coming. Well, I feel this is a question he won't be taking. Hey, we'll see. That's the first question. Listen to me. Everybody here, listen, before all of these, so we got to talk. Well, we'll talk about that in the mouthwash section. All right. So that's the deal with this situation. Okay. With Sproles and his announcements and all of the insanity leading up to all of that. Okay. Now, let me go back here to my page. Speaking to
now,
people.
I want to point something out because he referenced this.
Sure.
He said the state has put us in yet another position of declining revenues. When did that bill pass?
April of this year? Last year. April of last year, 2025.
April of last year. Do you think that he still considered the county's financial position with regard to the reserves still to be good after they passed Senate Bill 1?
Last year? Certainly not. No, I want to find out.
I'm going to say that this is at least a year ago that he said this.
That's good.
Sproles.
See, I was saying a month, but I want to pinpoint Shannon Thom. Listen, if anybody out there, and I know right now, I don't know that Shannon Thom, I don't know Shannon. Shannon is probably the only person in Henry County government I don't know. But I know that there are a lot of people that are in Henry County government that are watching. And I'm just telling all of you, and you know me, all of the people out there, tell Shannon the best way to do this is just for him to, he can text me. Here's the number. He can text me. Okay, there's that is. Or he can email me. Just have him text me or email me so I don't have to come looking for him. And I want him to tell me when this statement was had with John Sproles. I want to look, he might not know the exact hour and the exact day, but he knows if it was a month ago, if it was 6 months ago, if it was a year ago. I'd like to know a time frame and tell him not to hide from me because it'll only get worse if he hides from me. And you all know that. He's one I don't know. but I am coming for that answer, and I want it. So if he just wants to go ahead and message me and let me know, then we don't have to dick with it.
I'm just going to say that it was made before Senate Bill 1 passed.
That's a very good possibility.
That it was said before Senate Bill 1 was even presented, because county governments, after they brought that thing to the table, started freaking out.
Yeah, right. They did. Absolutely.
About revenues. So I'm going to say that this is at least a year old that he said that.
Very good possibility. That's a very good possibility. Yeah, I don't know. Shannon, let me know.
Sorry, wanted to.
No. That's good. I think that's fantastic. I agree. We need to know. We need to know. So that is that's that. Okay. Now, before we move out of Henry County, all right, we do have to hit this one last thing. And this is the Howard's mouthwash appearance leaves bad taste. Where do I start with this nonsense? So Randy Howard went on the Mouthwash podcast and literally every Henry County citizen that's on social media that didn't have something else going on sprinted to that show. We live streamed it. We pushed people there. Okay. And I want to be very clear. I went to, if Randy has made a post about blocking people, if that's happened here just recently, someone needs to take a picture of that and message it to me on Facebook, because I have not seen that. So if that's happened, get that to me. So I told John from Mouthwash in a message, I messaged all of his people and I said, just listen, all I need to know from you, do you care if we, the Political Spotlight, simulcast your program? That's the conversation I had with John. I'm going to tell people something that I generally don't talk about because there's not a point in it. I share a lot of dirty laundry here, and I share a lot of my dirty laundry. Oh, for the record, is there anybody in here that's not aware that I am what is it called? I lost it. I'm trying to figure out. Thank you, Biggie Smalls. I'm trying to. Well, a nobody too. Yeah, that's there. Has there anybody that's ever not heard the fact that I've say that I have had a past of dabbling with psychedelics? Is there anybody ever here that I have someone out there in the shadows that's like telling me, I'm going to tell people. I'm like, what are you talking about? I talk about it on the program. Are you for real? What in the hell? You can't tell anybody. We are listened to by almost nearly 3 million views in a 90-day period. I tell the entire world. What in the hell are you talking about? I sure, you've referenced a few times and joke about it often. Look, I cannot be blackmailed because I'm an idiot. I mean, here and I talk about it frequently. Look, people saying yes. Okay. Love it. Fantastic. Bring it on. You know what I mean? Rock and roll. Are you saying you're a child of the 60s? Well, I'm in spirit. It's like my spirit animal. Here's the deal. Psychonaut. That's what I was trying to get. I could not get that in my mind. A psychonaut. That's what I was trying to get. All right, whatever. That just came to my mind. If this person's not connected to Randy Howard, it just all came to in my mind at the same time. I guess that's what doing psychedelics does. You know, squirrel. Okay, whatever. Anyways. Oh, See, look, I've even got a lava lamp back here. Get it? Don't get it? You get what I'm saying? I'm like the kind of idiot that they say, do not stare in mirrors. And I'm the first person that runs to the mirror. I'm like, let me see what happens. Okay. It's all for scientific purposes. You know what I mean? I am not now a drug addict, and you can't ever get me, but I'm just letting you know, we all have pasts. Okay. But if you have some, let me know. Okay. Anyways, moving on. I try not to, because I said I don't talk about like my past like this. Okay. So John Schmidt and his panel invited our show on. Okay. And we did a simulcast long ago with their show. Okay. They came on, we went on their show. It was episode 130 on January 30th, 2024. Rachel, it's the new co-host is upstairs. I put up a picture. I'm waiting until it gets down here. It'll probably be tomorrow. Even on acid, you have never said you have no problem with it all with it. Amy Kelly, I'll have to get a hold of you. That's hilarious. No, so listen, episode 130, January 30th, 2024. It was called the Political Spotlight / Mouthwash Simulcast Crossover Show. We did a 2-hour and 3-minute show where we had Brandon and I went on John's show, and then John came on our show, and we've plugged them from time to time. I'm pretty good friends with Brad Sawinski. He's on that show as a panelist. He's the Democrat on the show. But beyond that, John and I kind of clash. Okay. John's a nice person. I have no issue with him. Okay. I like him as an individual. There have been things that we've clashed. It's just different ways of hosting. It's kind of like with the Boss Hogs of Liberty. I don't particularly have an issue with Jeremiah Morrill or any 9 of his other co-hosts. I don't know if Dakota's still there or not. I don't know what the deal is. I've been on that show. They've been on mine. I'm not here to be your friend and to pet your head and to say, attaboy, and well, shucks, if you're not going to give me the answer, just post it on your page. You know what I mean? Okay. That's not something that I'm into. If I've got someone in front of me and I'm asking them questions and they're beating around the bush, I'm going to beat them I'm going to beat them around the bush myself unless they give me the answer I want. Okay. I don't hem haul around it. That's just my style. All right. John's got his style. The Boss Hogs have their style. That's perfectly fine. That's the reason that I'm not a co-host on the Mouthwash. That's the reason the Mouthwash is not a co-host here. John's not. That's the reason I'm not part of Boss Hogs of Liberty. That's the reason the Boss Hogs of Liberty aren't a pod. That's just how it goes. All right? No big deal. So for Randy, who's now out there telling literally anybody that will listen, I would have never done that show if I knew Bilbrey and John was in cahoots. They were conspiring against me. We're not in cahoots, bro. I like John. There's been times I went after John. John's went after me. John told me, I was talking to him. John's like, I don't even watch or share your show. I'm like, okay, dude, that's cool. No big deal. You know what I mean? Like, we are not bestest friends. I will tell you this. Okay. No, Adam, admit you were conjuring. I've been known to do that too. No, listen, here's the thing on the back of bus with black people. Here's the thing. The minute that Randy, was going on that show, he is a fool if he didn't think that everybody and their brothers and their mothers and their sisters and their girlfriends and their wives and their brothers' wives and their brothers' girlfriends were running there to ask them questions. He's an idiot. So now he's got a problem with mouthwash people. He's never going to talk to them ever again. His performance over there was absolutely ridiculous. I'm telling you, I've still not received a letter of notice. I've not been served. Randy, if you're going to sue me, bro, get on it. I'm ready to receive this and to battle royale. I don't think you have it in you to do it. I don't think you've got the balls to sue me. Sue me, please. I want you to. I'm begging you. But I just need to remind Randy of something. Randy is a person, I think, who on his own will, with no one begging him, no one asking him, no one holding him at gunpoint or knife point to file for office. He did that on his own accord. And the moment that he filed to run, he became not a private person anymore. He became a candidate running for office, which has made him a limited public official. People can ask questions of him. People can have opinions of him. People can do satire of him. People can make fun of him. People can... Has he never watched Saturday Night Live? However horrible it might be now, it used to be okay. And has he never watched that? Has he never read an actual newspaper? I just want him to know. He's running around telling people, like, you can't use my photo anymore. Bro, absolutely. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to keep making them weirder and more bizarre of you until two things happen. You figure out a way to get out of this race, and you stop, or you lose, period. The day that you lose, you won't hear from me. I mean, I might periodically be like, yeah, remember that comic that ran for that piss poor comic that ran for sheriff that one time? That was a joke, wasn't it? Right? I might say that every now and then. But more or less, when you're no longer a candidate, because you're not going to be sheriff, when you're no longer a candidate, you won't hear from me. But while you're a candidate, bro, you are fair game. So quit acting like an idiot. That's the other thing I told you to remember about Sproles. Sproles says, like, yeah, we're not gonna mudsling, and we're not gonna do all this stuff, and I'm not gonna put up with anybody asking any real questions, and we're gonna do it like this, and we're gonna do it like that. That's not, no, the mouthwash guy is a Republican, definitely a Republican. The woman on there is a libertarian. And then there's a Democrat, Republican, and a libertarian. The host is actually a Republican. She 100%. But when Sproles says things like, we will not be answering questions from fake profiles, we're going to stick to the facts and be considerate of feelings. I need all these people to remember they're running for office. You're in the crosshairs, but not the literal crosshairs. You're right. Right. So just, Randy's an idiot. He bombed that. Now it's everybody else's fault that he bombed it. It's everybody else's fault that he tried to go on this program with 1991 AOL dial-up. And I'm telling you, listen to me, flat out. Listen, he was lying about not being able to hear them. When you're doing interviews and things, there's ways for us to know by what's happening. He was lying by not saying, oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear. that was bullcrap. His internet sucked, but it wasn't nearly as bad as he was portraying. So just an FYI, okay? That dude is a complete nutter. 1,000% he's a nut job. Okay, we are moving on. Moving on from there, and we're actually now moving out of Henry County. We're now moving into Madison County, okay? Before we do that, no. Randy sent me a message on AIM. Real quick, before we move on to Madison County, I do need to cover this. Just 1 second, because this is very important. This is very, very important. So before we back out of there, because this didn't get talked about the other night. It should have been talked about the other night, and it didn't. And we need to put this up because I'm tired of hearing about this too. Okay, so this is still here. Yes, it was a complete shit show, Chris. A clown show. 1,000%, Micah. So I know this might. Let me tell you. I'm wondering if we can. I'll just pull it up on my case. That would probably be better, and then I can find what you've shared there, so I can. Okay, give me just 1 second here, folks. I'm gonna pull this up, and that way I can show it so you guys can see it, because this is something that is it. Can you hear me? You just can't see me moving? Okay. It's because I've got the wheel of death going here. Give me 1 second here. All right, we've got my case pulled up here. I'm going to share this here for you to see. This is important. This, we do need to cover this. And so you, Kate, you look this up by going Howard, Randy,
and put the middle initial in. A. Yes.
Okay. And let me see here on the phone what those pictures are showing. So the first thing that we're going to is 33CO3. Okay.
I just took them in order down the page. So he said in that.
Yeah, go ahead and say what he said.
Okay, well, you're pulling it. During that interview, he said that his license was suspended.
Yes.
And it was suspended because he got a ticket in like 2016 and he was 3 minutes late to pay it.
Yes.
And so he hired an attorney and took care of it.
Yeah.
My case proves that is a lie.
Okay, and I'm pulling this up here on the screen.
He made a mistake of memory. This is blatantly false.
Okay, and so while I'm pulling this up, explain to the people why we know that.
Well, we know that. Now, the date, I understand you could get the date wrong. That's beside the point. So looking over that he's gotten the date wrong of that speeding ticket, which was in 2011, to claim that he paid it 3 minutes late is bullshit.
Yeah, right. Well, and
the other reason that we know that this is not true, because he also has claimed that he didn't know it was suspended, is because scroll down, Kristopher. So here we've got, what is that? 2020?
We're on 2007. Yeah, we're on 2007. We're now to 2022. 2020. 2002, I mean. Which one do you want me to see?
Do the 7. So what is that for?
Okay, 7.
You don't even have to open it. You can see it right there.
Oh, this is an infraction for no valid driver's license.
No
driving.
valid license. Okay, that's in 2020.
Okay.
Okay, go back.
Okay.
All right, go down to the next one. You can see it right there. Driving while suspended.
Yep, that's
Scroll down the next. That one's a suit. Scroll past it.
This one is in the year. This happened in
2022.
In February of 2020.
Okay, keep
The
going
one
down.
happened in the first one happened in July of 2020. Okay, keep on going down.
Keep on going down. Okay, another one.
Okay.
So we got another one, and this is 2018, right?
This is October of 2018.
Okay, so this one, a criminal misdemeanor charge.
Yes, because let me explain to you how this works. So in the state of Indiana, putting back on my police hat, if I pull Kate over for speeding and Kate pays the ticket, or if I pull Kate over for a seatbelt and Kate pays the ticket, or let's say I pull her over for running a stoplight and Kate says, you know what, I'm not going to pay it. I didn't run it. And I have, if she goes to court and beats me, that's fine. If she pays it, that's fine. If she goes to court and then she ends up losing and she takes care of it, that's fine. Here's what happens. If Kate gets a ticket for speeding and does not pay it, does not take care of it, she then gets her license suspended. Okay. Then if I'm out rolling around and I see her again, and let's say she touches the center line and I pull her over and I realize, hey, you touched the center line, and I run her license and dispatch tells me she's suspended, what they will say is she's suspended infraction. And at that point, I write her a ticket for her suspended. And sometimes cops will let her just go on home. They shouldn't. They really should tow the car and make her get a ride. Then if she doesn't take care of that, once you don't take care of your suspended infraction, you don't pay for it. Now you're suspended prior. And suspended prior is now an arrestable offense. It's no longer an infraction. It's now a misdemeanor. So Randy not only had one driving while suspended, but he had one driving while suspended, and then he got another one. So now he's suspended infraction, and then he got pulled over to make this. So this is the third time at least he's been stopped in 20, at this point.
Right. And so that's 2018, and that's in October.
Well, there's 18 in October, and that's
in Hancock County.
Yep, Hancock.
And now we go down, and we've got in
the
April?
month before.
The
month before is September, so he got pulled over in September and October of 2018
in Henry County.
Yep.
And that one's also a criminal misdemeanor.
Yep. So back to back to back.
So back to back within a month of each other. Keep going down. What's this next? Oh, this next one's also driving while suspended, and this is in 2018.
So probably what happened is in his first runs, he's probably been suspended several times, and then we'll get him taken care of, and then we'll get suspended again and get them taken care of, and then get suspended again. Because what it looks like here is in June of 2016, he suspended infraction. Okay, yeah. In June of 18, he suspended infraction, and then 3 months later, he's now suspended prior.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not criminal. So we got to kind of, we can put on the sovereign citizen hat, but they're not criminal. They're infractions. That's the reason I'm saying the difference between an infraction and an arrestable offense. A misdemeanor is arrestable. An infraction is not. So the difference between an infraction and driving while suspended prior is the fact that one becomes a misdemeanor, the other's not. But this was then so now you come down here, that's an 18. That's June of 18. This is May of 16.
16, and look what it is, driving while suspended.
Failure of occupant to use safety belt. Okay.
Okay, keep going down. What do we got here?
Here's
2013.
September of 13.
Driving while suspended.
Okay.
Keep going down. And then we got 2000. So this is speeding.
This is probably the one.
Yeah, so go ahead and open that one.
Okay. So let's take a look at this.
This would be the speeding ticket that he paid 3 minutes late.
Okay.
And that's what he said on the mouthwash.
He said that on the mouthwash.
So all the way down to the bottom where it shows the financial stuff.
And you can see right here, 11/4 of 2011. That's when he got the ticket. So November 4th, 2011.
Okay. Scroll all the way down to the bottom.
All right, we're here.
And they show the dates of when things are paid.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Okay, when did he pay that?
Well, we have a transaction assessment, which was $131, 11/16/11. So that's when they decided how much the ticket would be.
It was going to be.
Then on March 6th of 2017, they made an adjustment, put $18 on, and that's because of time. And then on August 4th of 2017, they put another $2 adjustment on. And on June 11th of 2018, counterpayment, that means he walked in and paid it, okay? And he paid $151 on June 11th of 2018.
Is that 3 minutes?
That's a long-ass 3 minutes.
That's a long-ass 3 minutes.
That's a very long 3 minutes.
That was a lie.
Yeah.
It was a blatant lie. And I think a lot of other things he said in that program were either gross exaggerations or flat out lies.
Absolutely.
This one is easy to prove he lied.
His clock was on coward time. Yeah. No, this is
and
they
really filed an SR-16 with the BMV.
Yeah. 100%.
And that may have been what those additional adjustments were for, was for the time to file those.
Sure. Don't be so picky. Here, let me tell you something, folks. I like to speed. I don't ever pay attention.
Don't get caught.
I don't. I like. Well, so yeah. So there's a time that I became a police officer, and afterwards, look, it's not fair. It is, right? But I've been pulled over, and they're like, all right, get on down your road, whatever, do it. But there's a time long ago when I got pulled over, and actually what happened is I didn't get pulled over. I was driving to work, and a lady hit me. She was going the wrong way down a one-way, and she hit me. She didn't have any insurance. It was her fault. All that stuff was crazy. I still had to turn in my insurance to show that I had insurance. And I had went to London, and I assumed that my insurance company had turned that in and did what they were supposed to do. Lo and behold, they didn't do that. I get back from London after being over there for all this time, and I'm driving around, and I get pulled over for speed or whatever. This is right around the time I'm getting on the police department. I get pulled over, and I'm suspended, and I'm like mortified or whatever. So like shit happens. You've just got to be willing to be honest about it. Okay? That's the thing. You've just got to be willing to be honest. The last thing I'm going to say about Mr. Howard is this. I was so caught up about them trying to nail him down about these things because Randy Howard has now said publicly that he taught at ILEA as some kind of volunteer instructor where he was brought in. What did they call it? An immediate?
Sorry, I had to pull up my notes. He said he was a guest instructor on the PR-24, actually an intermediate instructor, which meant that he was able to instruct the people who would be doing the instructing.
Instructing the instructors.
Yes.
Instructing the instructors. I gave him a ride around. I didn't. Yeah, I did. He wanted me to take him all the way, and I didn't. I took him to his truck. That was in 2022. So that was just like 3 years ago. Okay. That was just 3 years ago when he wanted me to do that. When we were looking into what was going on down in Knightstown, like 2022, 2023, somewhere around in there, when he walked to the location. It was so bizarre. But he's said that he's been at ILEA. Okay. I contacted the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. And the people at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy told me on the phone that they had no understanding, no record of him being down there, that's just, whatever. They told me that they wanted me to send in a request. And I said, yeah, okay, I can absolutely do that. And so I sent in a request for the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. And let me pull this up right here. Let me double check where I've got it. Oh, you know what? I had it in my other pants pocket here. Sorry about that, officer. It was in my other pants pocket. Okay, let me get this to load. Your APRA request has been completed. Okay, so let me show you this. So this email says, and let me blow it up so you can see it. Your public record request has been completed by the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. Please see below for an explanation and any results regarding your request. If you have any additional information regarding information supplied, please email publicrecords@ilea.in.gov. There were no records that were able to be produced from your request. After a good faith search of our records, our office has not located any records responsive to your request. Accordingly, we have completed our response to your request and are closing our file at this time. There are no documents produced in response to your request. You can access your full submission through the document request portal in the left side under My Forms. Okay, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. They do not have any record of Randy Howard being there, whether he was teaching them how to use a stick, teaching them how to teach people how to use a stick, or any kind of other nonsense that he wants to claim. Okay, I have went ahead and filled out the extra email telling them that I needed them to go further and beyond, because now I have the information that he's provided, which means I said, this is what he said he taught. This is what he claims that he was. Can you please do a search on that? And look, I know the answer is going to come back. They have no response, no records responsive to that. Randy Howard's never been there teaching. Okay. What he needs to do is, if he wants to shut me up, produce documentation. Randy, you go to ILEA and tell them that you're running for sheriff and that you taught inside those doors, and that you need someone to verify that because you need to post it because you're making a fool of yourselves and people don't believe you. Because what he's going to say is, well, it don't matter. Bilbrey don't live down here. It doesn't matter. Rumor has it he taught Sproles beanbag shooting. He's going to say, Bilbrey doesn't matter. I don't need to know. Look, I don't vote for him. He's right. I don't matter. But all of you do. And a lot of you are voting for him or not voting for him, or he needs you to vote for him. So, he needs to realize what it means to run a campaign. Okay. So I just want him to know these things. We're going to prove that he was never at Westville Correctional Facility or work release. We're going to prove he was never inside the wall in Pendleton. And if and when we prove this, those are lies that he cannot come back from. Okay? Those are just simply not something he can come back from. He can't come back from this. And people say, well, why are you doing this? Why? Because we need to know. Because listen, I drove through Henry County yesterday. There are a lot of idiots that have signs of his in their yard. Or, my bad. He's the idiot. They're misinformed. My apologies. He's an idiot. He's making them look bad because of what's going on. Now, look, if somebody just says, hey, that's little Randy Howard. He used to be the kid down the street. We used to pick on him and rub his head. You want to sign in his yard, whatever, go for it. You're going to vote for him, go for it. But don't vote for him because you believe any of his bullshit. Because if that happens, then you're an idiot.
But why does it matter that we know these things? Because we've had 3.5 years of someone who got very little experience in law enforcement. At least he has some, but he has very little experience in law enforcement, and the county is going bankrupt.
Yeah, right.
Because of his actions.
Yeah.
Henry County needs a sheriff who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Sorry for the F word, Mr. Sproles.
Yeah, one demerit.
Thankfully, I don't work for him.
Yeah, right.
And that's why this is important. That's why this matters.
Yeah. Are you John Sproles' girlfriend? Okay. Okay. So now on to Madison County. In Madison County, we're done with it. Look, there will still be plenty of Henry County to get to. We have a long time to the election. We will still cover more and more and more and more and more. We're going to be with you guys on all of these dates. We got to get to Madison County. Okay. Madison County. All right. In Madison County today, they had what's called an election board meeting. Now, let me tell you, they love to have themselves some election board meetings down there. I don't know what the deal is. I don't understand. But in most counties, they have like an election board meeting every so often, like when the election's coming up, and to certify the ballots and to certify the machines, and then to make sure that everything's good after the election. Down in Madison County, man, they are having election board meetings like monthly. I mean, like sometimes like twice a month. They have more of these meetings down there than they do anything else. It's wild to me. And the thing is, it's like they never truly know what they're doing. They just are up there, and they're always breathing really funny, and they're making these weird statements, and they're doing this weird stuff, and it's just so funky always. So I'm going to take you to today's meeting, okay? If any of you want to watch this full meeting, I would highly recommend you watching it, okay? You can watch it by going to Madison County webpage and go to their, they have live meetings, and they have their past meetings, and you can click it there. It's a very bizarre feed. I wish they would just do YouTube. It's not as user-friendly as it should be, but it's not that hard. So you can click there and you can watch the whole thing. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to play bits and pieces of this for you. So we get started here, and I don't know if McKinney is still in here or not. I hope she is. Catherine Callahan is here. The full meeting is not on the county. What do you mean the full meeting is not on the county? Explain to me what you mean by that. Oh, here, let me put it to you this way. I've got an hour and 16 minutes. So when it starts to cut off, we will go over to Rebecca Crooms. And I love, because Rebecca Crooms is there. You can watch it from Rebecca Crooms, and apparently their meeting cut out for, so you'll have to go to Rebecca, which I love Rebecca. I'm glad she was there, and I'm glad I see. So that's good. I watched all of this today. I didn't watch when I say I watched all of it, I mean, I watched all of it until about the last 3 minutes. If you want to see the closure, go to Rebecca Crooms, where Ryan Traub, the health department, has a meltdown about Catherine. Okay, you guys stay here real quick. The meeting was adjourned. Okay, let's go through this. I want to show you guys. So basically what was going on in this meeting was Cheryl McKinney has filed a couple of complaints against their clown running for sheriff, okay? And their clown running for sheriff is none other than Jonathan Culp. Jonathan Culp is currently a councilman. He's an idiot councilman. He is the son of all of the other Culps. Jennifer Culp, who's a city councilor, Todd Culp, who is the auditor, and it's a big circle jerk. Like always, he shouldn't be running, but he is. Again, he, like Randy Howard, has no experience. And let's listen to this. Please note that Stephanie Mellinger was in the back of the room supporting his disrespectful and gross behavior. That's good to know. So we're going to move forward here.
2026 CEBR04.
The three board members are here, and the three board members are the one here on the right is the clerk. This is Linda. The one here on the left, and she's the Republican. She's a Republican clerk. She's there as a member, being the clerk. The Democrat member is Tim Lannon. He's here, and then the president is, who's the president's name? Catherine. What's the president's name? She's the one that Kelly put on the board, and she's an idiot. Okay, just very very crazy. That's okay, Candy. We'll see you later. just stop texting me. That's all you got to do, Candy. Okay, so Michelle Daniels. So let's move on here. Okay, here we go.
A resolution of the Madison County Election Board declaring certain 14-inch absentee ballots defective under IC Code 311-2-16 and providing, it's a procedure. It's providing voter guidance for the May 5th primary. Jeff, I think.
Who wants to bet Candy's still here?
And Clerk Smith, please correct me if I stumble over anything on the facts of this. But what has happened is that
okay, we're gonna go past this, and I want you guys to I want you guys to know this first part. If you watch this whole meeting, they are voting because apparently like 270 of their ballots, okay, are short. They're too short, okay, and they're having an issue because what they need to do is, if you don't turn that ballot in and request another one, if you fill it out and submit it, it won't read through the machine right. So they got to remake the ballot. It's just a weird deal. What they needed to do, it's just it's very strange what they're doing with this. And it's something that the people of Madison County really need to care about, because it's always a cluster with the clerk's office and the election. It's just always something is wrong, and it should not be like that. The problem is exactly like what Catherine just said. They're like, well, we've got a remake team, so we're going to take your ballot that you submitted and we'll just remake it. And, who knows how they're remaking it? You know what I mean? Like, I'll pass on that. That's the reason, folks, because what these ballots are the absentee ballots. If at all possible, when you go to vote on election day. You have to vote on election day. If you can't, then you need to go in person and vote early. And if you can't, then you got to do the mail-in. But mail-in needs to be the last try. And here, it should never be like this. But if you get a mail-in ballot from Madison County, you need to pull up a measuring tape and measure it. And if it is under 17 inches, you need to go switch the ballot out at the clerk's office. Take it up there and request another one. If they send you one of the 14-inch ballots, don't fill that in and send it in, because you don't know what they're going to do. Because what they're going to do is they're going to get it, and then they're going to remake your ballot. And you don't want them to do that. You want your vote, okay? You want your vote to count the way that you want it to count. Do not vote early. But yeah, this is very, very, very important. What Catherine is saying here, and I want everybody to know, we've not had Catherine on in a while. Catherine is welcome here. I want Catherine to win. All's good in my world. All right. I'm supportive of Catherine. I want Catherine to win her race. Mike Gaskell needs to go. So I appreciate Catherine's here, and I appreciate Cheryl's here. And listen to this. Let's get on the road with this. We're going to get past this. So basically, they vote and they fix this mess that they created.
Try to throw out any ballots that don't comply with the official ballot of this election. And so when it's spit, but any ballot that gets
A, submit an ABS 5 form to obtain a replacement 17-inch.
And they're talking about the ballot still. Let's get to the complaints.
That has now been removed.
All right, here we go. Here, Cheryl McKinney's up, and I applaud Cheryl McKinney
5 minutes
for what
will
she's
not
doing.
affect that. And then the respondent will come up and have 5 minutes. And then we'll swear them in. Can you do that for me? Swear them in?
Sure, anyone that be testifying and presenting evidence in the complaint that just raise your right hand. You swear that any testimony you give to the election board today will be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You swear that.
Okay, very good. All right, Mrs. McKinney, do you want to come up, please? And give your, this, first complaint I have.
Linda does have to go, and you have 2 chances to get her out. Catherine, will you put her opponents on there, Stephanie May Stennis and Lisa? If you want to vote for Lisa as a Republican, you can vote for Lisa. If you want to vote for Stephanie as a Democrat, and we're going to try to have both these people on here coming up as we get closer. But she needs to go.
We're going to just go by the date of the incident, and I have 3/8/26 assigned I-69 between mile north of 234 and 241.
That has now been removed.
Pardon?
The sign has been removed finally. The sign has now been removed.
Okay, when was it removed?
Well, I don't know.
Pardon?
I have no idea.
So
check the other-
Cheryl, if you will, or if you can you please put a comment in here and let us know what the complaint is? To my understanding, the first complaint that you had was back when you made the complaint. There was a billboard up from a previous election, and you're saying that this was just up and it was never taken down. It should have been taken down. It wasn't. And when you made the complaint, because Michelle gets this confused, when you are getting this complaint going, the sign or the billboard was there. And the billboard, it was on I-69. It was there for over a year. It was for his past election. And you filed a complaint. I don't know why I keep saying that. You filed the complaint that it was there. And since that's happened, and since he knew about it, they've gotten it taken down. And you went to go get a picture of it. And when you went out there, you noticed that it was taken down. Okay. And so let's watch what happens here.
And it was gone.
But you did see it on the 8th?
Yeah.
Yes, it was there on the 8th when she filed the complaint.
When I filed the complaint, yes, it was there.
Okay. So, Mr. Culp, would you like to respond? I mean, has it been taken away? I'm going to give each complaint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Yeah. That's it.
They just absolutely don't know what they're doing. It's ridiculous.
Morning.
Morning.
So first, I just like to address that that's not my billboard. That's another committee's billboard. So that has nothing to do with me nor my campaign. Okay. I do happen to know that that billboard that's up now has been up for over a year. I've seen it
Over a year?
over a year. If you want to fact check that, you can go on Google Earth and just simply slide through the dates, and you can see that is currently a QT billboard. Google Earth will show you as you slide through the dates that QT billboard has been up for a year, but ultimately this complaint needs filed with the right committee. So that's all I have.
Okay. I'm a little confused because you said you saw it the 8th. And it's-
So let me understand, is the billboard a billboard that just has the stupid Culp name on it the way they do all? The thing is, there's 3 different Culps, and they all 3 run using the same, they all 3 use the same signage. So it's really hard for anybody to tell what anybody is. So can you just tell us what was on the billboard? Did it say what Culp was it for and what office was it running for? Or did it just say Culp? Is that all it said?
It was on a Sunday when I was driving back.
Elect Culp. That's all it said.
falsehood.
It didn't say what it was.
It's false. Can I? Sure.
That's all their signs. Elect Culp.
Yeah, right.
No office, no first name, just elect Culp. And maybe a disclaimer.
That's so insane. And he gets up there and he acts so like it's a different committee. Well, okay. So what we'll do is we'll just start filing against all of you idiots. All right. We'll file against all three of you. We'll get you in here. We'll get you sworn in and we'll figure out whose shit it is.
Exactly sure what is the exact allegation of the violation. We're talking about some sort of billboard now, but what's wrong with the billboard or what's the violation?
There's actually two violations. One, the disclaimer wasn't large enough to read from the road. And two, that it was up past the 6 days allowed after the election.
It was up past the election. And there's not been an election in Indiana since 2024. The last election that there was in Indiana was in November of 2024. So there should not have been a sign up anytime in 2025. And the sign sure as hell shouldn't have been up in January and February of 2026, or even up until the 8th of March, 2026. Now, Cheryl is testifying here that Culp sign was up on the 8th of March, 2026, and she's under oath. Jonathan is saying that's a falsehood. That's not. One of these people is lying. All right. I don't believe that it's Cheryl McKinney. And it would be pretty easy to prove who's lying, because what I might do is what we need to do is we need to call the billboard company and find out when they took the sign down out there last. It'll be very easy to prove what's the situation here. Okay. Okay. They've sent it to us here. Is this the billboard in question? Is this what we're saying is the billboard in question? So don't worry about this stuff down here. Scott Green crap. Okay. And from here, I can't see. Can you tell who it was paid for? Who was it paid for, Catherine?
Paid for by the committee to elect Culp.
That's what it says?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's helpful.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Paid for by the committee to elect Culp. You know?
And they named all their committees real generic crap like that.
Yeah, right. Very one step off of each other.
One step off each other with no first name and no office.
Yeah. So it's very easy.
Juggling funds, juggling shit.
But
go figure out who's whose.
Yeah, right. But more importantly, McKinney withdrew this. So had Michelle not been worrying about her cat or her dog in her car and a flat tire, look, shit happens, but it has always happened. If Michelle would have been up on her homework, she would have known that McKinney withdrew this and they could have just avoided this. All right. But they wanted to waste some time with it. So that's what we did.
Whatever the Sunday was prior to that. I don't know what day the 8th
Well,
was.
I mean, in March, you saw it in March, right?
Yeah.
He says it's been done a year.
Okay. I mean, it's gone now, so I couldn't go get a picture. I went out this week to get a picture.
I'm not sure. Okay.
I withdrew that complaint anyhow because
Oh,
it's
you're
not there.
withdrawing the complaint.
Yes, yes, because it's not there now.
Okay.
So it's been resolved.
I just don't understand how you can see something on the 8th and it's been gone a year. That's all.
Michelle's saying, listen to what this woman is saying. I don't understand how you can see something on the 8th, but it's been down a year. Well, try this one on, Michelle. It's not been down a year. Anybody and everybody that drove by this for the last year has seen this sign up. And McKinney, Cheryl McKinney, who filed the complaint on the 8th, can verify that it was there. Now, I understand that you've got two people in front of you, and you've got to believe one of them and not believe the other one, and it's Jonathan Culp, so you have to believe him, and Cheryl is lying, and so I understand that you can't believe this. I just don't understand how I can believe that something's there, but you could see it, but you couldn't. It's not there. Well, she withdrew the complaint, so what? There's nothing for you to figure out. You just said, oh, so you withdrew the complaint? And she said, yes, I withdrew the complaint. It's no longer there, so it's not a non-issue. They took it down. I withdrew the complaint. So you don't need to try to figure it out in your pea brain.
Okay, let's get the second complaint. Well, there's no merit. Let's rule on this.
Yep.
I find no merit in that complaint. She did withdraw it. Do I have a motion?
Complainant wants to withdraw. I would move that the complaint regarding the billboard as alleged in the complaint submitted to the board together with the email that was submitted to the board be withdrawn.
Okay, do I have a second?
Okay, so they withdraw that. They go into her second complaint.
Okay.
And basically,
Okay, so I did receive something. Okay. This was addressed to you from an Erica Hamrick stating that there is no hatch violation. Did you receive that?
I did. I spoke with Kelsey.
Okay, so
But there was a Little Hatch Act violation.
I'm sorry, there was a what?
It's called Little Hatch Act violation.
I'm sorry, a what?
The Hatch Act is federal and the Little Hatch Act is local.
I'm sorry, a what?
But it also, it's a clear violation of Indiana Code 3-14-1-17. You'll find that Mr. Culp is using his government-issued email address, Jonathan-Culp or /Culp at madisoncounty.in.gov on his campaign material. I believe that we can all agree that this is official government account that Mr. Culp uses. The use of county-issued communication resources on campaign material constitutes use of public resources for political activity and creates the appearance of official government endorsement. You'll see that on Exhibit A that I handed out. Secondly, the campaign has distributed coupons providing items of value directly to voters while the candidate is out campaigning. These coupons include free or discounted food. This is voter inducement.
And listen, folks, this is something that we've all talked about. Catherine and I talked about this on a number of different shows, okay? We had all of this pulled up forward. We talked about it, okay? What Cheryl is talking about here is the different door hangers and the different things that they had pulled up. Here, Jonathan Culp for Madison County. Sorry I missed you. Paid for by the Culp Election Committee. Okay, here's this. We've got that. We've got these free coupons on the back. You flip the coupon over. Oh, and then there's Muncie. That's not it. Okay. Here, this is okay. You flip them over and you've got this. And you see you've got Culp for Madison County, Jonathan.Culp. Let me tell you something. We're going to hear here in a minute that he says these are his business cards. Okay. I don't know how Madison County does this, but Delaware County, the city of Muncie, their business cards are formatted to where they all look the same. They've got the seal of the county. They've got the person's name. Below it, they've got their office. They've got a phone number, their information, and it's very generic. It looks like
It
state-issued,
also
county-issued
office they hold.
Yeah, right.
Not that they are for
Madison County.
Or for Delaware County.
Yeah.
This is election material.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, ladies, you do not have to go to the election board to file a Hatch Act complaint. You can go directly to the federal government and do it.
Well, and she did that. she did that with one of them, and they came back and basically said, nah, nothing's going on here. There's nothing going on here, is what they told her. She first filed with the prosecutor. He told me that I had to file with the U.S. Special Counsel. I did. They directed me back to the prosecutor and said that there's nothing there. And so this is just basically bullshit, okay? You need to file with the Indiana State Police as well. I mean, it's a bunch of run around and bullshit. No one's going to do anything because it's just nobody knows what's real. Laws don't matter. It's all just a bunch of horseshit.
Because these coupons contain campaign identification, provide items of value, and include a government-issued email, they function as campaign materials distributing things of value while using government resources.
Okay, are these, well, let me have Mr. Culp speak.
Okay, can I ask a
Sure.
question? Ms. McKinney?
Yes, sir.
Your exhibit A is this. What are these? You know what these are?
They're just campaign material that he's out handing out.
Just
And then
campaign material.
it's the coupon for the free or discounted foods.
So they're like walk cards that you get to.
Yes, and that's the exact same logo that you will find
Okay.
on his other campaign material.
I just wanna
That's
make sure it's- so
that's what makes
on
them
one side
campaign.
and these are
This
on
is
the
campaign
other
material. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it has the same logo that he has on his other things.
Okay.
Okay, so I do have a question, please. So you were saying that he uses his county account,
Yes,
and where is that?
it's on the front on Exhibit A.
Dude, read.
Do you see it there?
She
I can
provided
find it
it to you.
His email address. Okay. I
Yes.
see it. And, okay.
Okay, Mr. Culp.
Can I have one more question? Sure.
They can't determine who they want up at bat or not. I could
You
ask them.
are on your Exhibit B.
Yes,
This is like
those are the
this is also
coupons.
the card that's been given out.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
This is also cards that are.
It's on the back side of the other.
So this is the front side.
She
and
can't
this is the
tell
back
if
side.
Yes.
something's the front or the back.
All right. Was Exhibit C and D, are they a part of this complaint or not?
It's just all
They're
the
a part
same,
of a
dude.
complaint, but they're not of that particular.
Okay.
It's just all the same. It's just the campaign election material.
I'm bored.
Now listen to
So-
this. Here is his defense. Listen to this.
Before I begin, I just want to make sure we're all reading the same complaint. This complaint was on 3/13, your information, date of incident was 3/10. The location of the incident from Ms. McKinney is delegated as mailers. She's claiming that I have my government email on my mailers. That's what her complaint says. So I'm here to answer to her complaints and her complaints alone. So I have mailers here that I've sent out. If you guys would like to see if you find a government email on it, I'd love for you to look. There are no government email on any mailers. If she would like to file more complaints, she's free to do so. I send these out to people who I consider movers and shakers. It's a small list of movers and shakers in the county. This does not involve my government email, which is
Now, really quickly, I want to make sure because it's hard to see from here. He sends what out to movers and shakers? His mailers or the business cards? What's he sending out to movers and shakers? I wanted to get that
what
answer.
she has complained about on her complaint form. So that's what I have to share.
Can you address Exhibit A?
That's not an informal complaint. So if she wants to complain about that, there needs to be due process of formal complaint. That's not mailers. That's not what she. This is my term, right? So she has on here that the location of incident is mailers. I don't mind addressing that at another time, but that needs to be another formal complaint. And that's by Indiana statute law. Is that correct?
You're entitled to due process.
Yes. That's right.
Are these, I know you don't have to do this, okay? But these look like, are these the cards that officials have in the, like, if I go to the assessor's office, if I go to any place, they always have their cards out, right?
Right. Essentially, those are business cards. I never, ever mentioned running for any office while handing this out. Now, anything further than that, there needs to be another complaint filed.
Okay. So at first I thought they were signage because it looked like a billboard sign, but they're business cards. And you haven't been passing those out. You have them.
February 5th was the last day I passed this out.
February 5th.
Amazingly, amazing. Listen. So he's been passing this out for a long time. I mean, we started covering this back in January. Catherine and I talked about this back in January. But he stopped passing these out. He stopped passing these out the day before the filing deadline. That is absolutely amazing.
Sure. Yes, your contention is that these are not campaign materials?
Those are not, but there needs any further discussion.
April of
There needs to be due
2025.
process of filing an actual complaint for this topic. This complaint is for mailers. I have mailers here.
So your defense is that
Is
these
that
are not what your complaint
right?
is.
That's not what the complaint's about. The complaint is about these right here.
So I think I got a right to ask.
So look here. Date 4/24/2025. He's been doing this for over a year. Okay. The expiration date was the election day. This, yeah, right, Cheryl. That's what I'm saying. This is not this is not business cards. That is a load of shit.
Business card.
You're asking me to defend something that is not in the complaint. So now this is almost your complaint instead of her complaint.
There has to be a determination of business campaign.
That is not a mailer that she has filed a complaint against.
You're contending that these are not mailers.
Those are not
They're
mailers.
business cards, and on the back of your business cards, you have
Correct.
gift certificates. or what you
Yeah,
call it.
little coupons. Yeah. And
This guy is ludicrous. I mean,
So this is a business card. And you said February 5th. So that's, okay.
are there any questions about the government email being on my mailers here?
Guys, this way.
and this man's wanting to be the sheriff.
There's never been.
Let me tell you something. Madison County is in a very similar situation to Henry County. They have a sheriff who's currently there that should not be sheriff, okay, should not be reelected. They have this joker who's like the Randy Howard of the county. And then they have a couple of other candidates. Now, I'm not 100% sure on who I'm supporting, but I believe at this point I'm leaning towards the Brian Bell is who I'm going to in my mind. But we're not 100% sure there yet. But I will tell you, Beeman should not be reelected, and this idiot should not be reelected. And again, Brian Bell has experience in law enforcement. The other candidates have experience in law enforcement. This gentleman has no experience. He is completely an idiot.
We're recording on this.
Yep. So that's the mailer that she's filed a complaint against, which says so in the incidents of the complaint. There never has, nor will there be any government email on those mailers because that is political material.
Can I ask you this question?
Yes, sir.
It looks identical to your billboard.
It has my name on it.
Okay.
It's red, right?
And it says Colt for Madison County.
I am for Madison County. I currently am for Madison County on the county council.
I'm for Madison County. I'm for Madison County.
I just want to put you on the record. Let's go on that slogan.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean they're not willing to challenge him?
Jonathan,
Yes,
can I
ma'am.
can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So, I know you said these are your business cards.
Right.
And on the back side of your business cards, you had a coupon and you give those out. So do you know when you had these made, and can you give me some places that you gave them out? You did say you stopped giving them out on.
Yeah, so I handed them door to door, for several months before any filing. Nobody knew that I had even considered running for office at this time when those were being handed out.
Nobody knew. Listen, when he says that, I heard him say that this morning, and I was like, yeah, it's a bunch of shit. Because Catherine and I were saying that he was running for office as far back as last year. So I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but we can go back on the program on the Political Spotlight and show where far back in the past, okay, Catherine and I talked about him running for office. So when he's saying nobody knew, I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe his friends didn't. Maybe idiots in Madison County didn't. But Catherine and I knew that we were.
This was I would
Knew
go
that
door
he
to
was
door.
running.
Here I am explaining something that I shouldn't be explaining, but I would go to door and say, hey, my name's John Cole. I'm your county councilman. I just want you to make sure that you have access to your representative. Because a lot of times I tell them, we elect people, we don't know how to get a hold of them. I said, I want to make sure you have a way to get
I
a hold of
want
me.
you to
I've
have
been able to help
access to me.
numerous
So
people
here's a coupon.
with county,
Yeah.
with county business.
Yeah, right. And the people that on some of the food places, they didn't even know he was doing this. They were mad that he did this. There was even some of the places that were like, they didn't know what he was doing. And so they did this kind of, he pulled the wool over there. He pulled the wool over them.
Okay.
So I do. All right. So
I want you to know I'm your county commissioner, so it just says I'm for Madison County.
What'd you say? Council, but yes.
And here's a coupon.
Yeah, right.
That's
Here,
not
yeah.
campaigning.
Yeah,
You are-
here,
he is
yeah.
Another. What is it with liars this year?
I really don't know. It's really, really crazy. And you know what's funny to me is, I think if I go back here and I look, we'll start this
a little
keep
further.
this run.
So right here. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, I guess his email's on it.
So coupons distributed were in my official role as a county councilman before I filed as any candidate. Indiana Code 3-9-3-2.5 addresses election inducements, but no election or candidacy was mentioned, nor urging to vote for any candidate or candidacy at all. It was simply constituent engagement prior to any campaign period. Also, just to put it on the record,
Just a wannabe.
I briefly mentioned it, but the federal government, U.S. Office of Special Counsel, did come back. They've looked at all of this, and they did say that this is not in violation of the Hatch Act.
Just a wannabe.
So you stopped handing these out before you filed for office?
Yes, sir. And obviously, I think everybody knows this. Nobody knew that I was considering running for the office that I'm currently
You
running
didn't
for.
say that.
No, nobody knew.
You did say, you did say. You did say.
If I was mentioning that door to door, surely people would have known.
That's true. You probably would have.
Yeah, we'll get ready, please, the format of this, the graphics on this.
Yes,
I think
Catherine.
that's a representative of myself on almost all material that I know. Or the campaign, nor not.
My campaign material and my other non-campaign material is representative of myself. No shit. Your name's on it. You've got your name on it. You've got your name on it. But what Catherine's saying here is any end date, the expiration date, should have been prior to his filing this office. Since he put the expiration date on election day, to me, I think I don't buy what he's saying. And it sounds like Tim Lannon here was trying to go the right way, but he ended up
It is not.
doing nonsense.
And I hear your testimony that you actually handed these out going door to door.
For strictly county councilman business, yes, as their
For
representative.
strictly county
There's no
councilman
inducement,
business.
enticement, or encouragement to vote, nor not vote for any candidate, which is what the law states is political campaign.
He is
material.
such a douchebag.
It walks like a duck, quacks like a duck,
I have heard that, but
looks like a duck, probably is a duck.
sure, I have heard that. But
I
today,
wouldn't agree, you have to agree, this looks like campaign material.
that does represent me well, but that is not what it's used for. I think that the
It
whole
does
end
represent
of it
me
is,
well.
what did I use it for? That's not what it was used for. So unless that can be proved that I used it for something that is a falsehood, then they have to prove that. That's their burden.
Okay, I'd like to ask, is that all, Jennifer?
Yep. Unless any other questions, at present.
Okay, thank you. Jeff, do you have? We're not taking.
No, we do not, this is a.
Can
This is
you
a
put up,
quasi-judicial
just
statement.
for a second, can you put up the card again and that billboard? Just so viewers can see.
Yeah.
This is his card, his official
Yeah.
card for a county councilman. And this is the family's campaign crap.
Yeah. Yeah. So this
Okay,
is
so
this
let's-
is the
let's
card we're
look.
talking about. It just says Culp for Madison County.
This pretty red background with some 3D kind of stuff in the black.
Very Canva-like.
Yeah.
Very, very Canva-like.
Yeah.
Culp for Madison County.
In the 3D font.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's neat. Very neat. Okay, then the
billboard.
The billboard is here. Okay, so there's no confusion. Here comes the billboard. Elect Culp.
But the one is his official county card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because looking at that's not going to immediately register as that.
Yeah. Yeah. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it well, and they're out here playing the game. They're out here doing.
And I love that. The burden of proof is on them.
Yeah, right. He almost I'm surprised he's not running for prosecutor.
Yeah.
Honestly. I've met Rayford a couple times. Who's Rayford? Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, moving on here. Who's Rayford? I don't know what we're talking about.
No, that's all right. We're in the proceeding here, which is
all right. We're moving along here.
I do have.
We need to look at the law. I'm not really prepared.
So they couldn't decide if they wanted to have the attorney decide. And in Madison County, Norma Rayford. Okay, I don't know most of the Democrats over there. I'm gonna have to kind of get a better understanding. So I don't really know what they're doing. They're trying to decide if they can make a ruling, or do we need the attorney to look at this? I mean, the attorney's mind's already made up, but they don't really know what they're going to do on this or not.
To get to know his people, the campaign material he showed does not have anything on. Has no email on it.
So they basically are saying that his mailers, he sent some mailers out, and he brought like one of the 10 that he sent, and it doesn't have the email, but these business cards do, and the business cards don't have elect or for a specific office, so like it's missing that. So basically they're saying like, look, he's just sliding under. It's one of those things I always say, like the law is the floor, not the ceiling. If you want just good enough, then Jonathan Culp's your guy. If you expect more than just good enough, then Jonathan Culp is not your man, period. He's just not your man. Jonathan Culp is a good enough kind of guy.
I don't think, I understand, but I don't think it has, I don't think it has the merit to stand.
So they decided they don't even need the attorney. There's no merit. They're just gonna do away with it.
The Hatch Act didn't apply.
The Hatch Act didn't apply, and they're making the determination.
Just to be able to understand these, can we label them complaint 1, 2, and 3?
So absolutely.
We all know what we're talking
when she was out there looking at her little doggy in the window doing her tire, her mind was made up.
About. Okay, and that was the
Linda tried to make it look like she actually brought her mind with her. She did not.
So
no, that was not.
I didn't do anything. You cannot read that. You go drive through town, look at the other campaign signs. You can definitely see that they say paid for by.
So now they're talking about the other complaint, which is the size of his disclaimer, which I've always heard that people have a problem with the size of Jonathan's disclaimer. It's just I guess a medical issue. He was born that way. But apparently his disclaimer is a little too small for people's liking. And they're trying to decide if they can see it or not see it. Cheryl actually brought a sign in. I'm interested in where she got that sign. That's interesting to me. I'm surprised he didn't throw a fit about that. Well, you don't even have to say it. Don't say it in here because who knows. But I don't know. Did you bring that sign with you, or did he bring it? I was kind of the impression that you brought the sign. I thought, how did she get that sign? Okay, Jonathan brought it. Good. Okay, good. I was like, holy shit. she brought a sign of his in. That's ballsy.
It may have been an interpretation.
34, it goes back to the time. See, the sheriff is a constitutional position, so it goes back to the days of Indiana when we were like horse and buggy, and when people didn't run for sheriff and we didn't have police. There was 3 police in the community, towns, night watchmen or whatever, and so the sheriff someone needed to be able to lock up the drunks and the people who was out, hooligagging and carrying on, the way that they did back in the old Western days. And so what happened is the lawyer in the town or the barber or the postmaster, they would run for sheriff, and it wasn't like a law enforcement position as we know it today. It was more just somebody that locked up the town drunk when Otis got a little crazy. And so that's what they needed. And anybody could do that. And then that person was thrown up, a badge and a gun. Hell, everybody wore guns back then. And so it wasn't anything crazy. And then basically time just went on. Now, I would highly recommend, and I would say that this is something that I hope if Catherine wins her race, and I wholly feel that she can, and I want her to, I would say that this is something that she should look at putting forward as a state senator, that we need to change this law. That this law needs to change. Not that it's not a constitutional position. I don't know. Something needs to happen here because we're not in the 1800s anymore. Okay, we're in like real life time where these things have consequences.
Well, isn't it just recently that they changed the law so that a judge had to be an attorney?
No. So a city court judge or a town court judge. So basically, any kind of circuit or superior judge has always had to be an attorney, but a town court. And so basically what that means is if you live in a place where you have a circuit and superior court, those are your courts of record. The town court is not a court of record. So while they might be able to hear infractions, ordinance violations, and some misdemeanors, they can't handle like a murder trial. They're not doing anything where they're kind of like locking you up and taking your freedom. So anybody could do that. However, long ago, people could do that. In probably 2014 or 2015, they changed that law and said even for the town courts and the city courts, you have to be an attorney. And they moved that over. So yeah, they did do that. They made that change. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can run for coroner with no medical background.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the coroner, a lot of people are confused about that because the coroner in the state of Indiana is not a medical background. You're not the pathologist. There are some places like in New York where it's not called coroner, it's a medical examiner, and their medical examiners have to be physicians. They have to be pathologists. Here, you don't have to be a pathologist to be the coroner because there are forensic pathologists that do that, and you're just making, again, it's another constitutional position. The same way that you can't be a prosecutor without being an attorney, we have a couple positions that haven't caught up with the regular stuff.
From an attorney?
It makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
Whether somebody opinion or it's actually the law.
So they're debating the font.
A couple BC of things that don't apply to my sign. Also says, notwithstanding subdivisions 1 law states here. This is also from Valerie Warchall. She's from the Indiana State Election Committee. She said, I posted the law regarding disclaimers below. If his signs, they have a 7-point font in a different color background, that would satisfy the law. Yeah, I did bring that law with me. All right, so
he's so fired up.
The disclaimer must be printed with a reasonable degree of color contrast between the background and the printed statement. A disclaimer satisfies the color contrast requirement if this subdivision is true. A, the disclaimer is printed in black text on a white background. Then he goes into a couple BC of things that don't apply to my sign. Also says, notwithstanding subdivisions 1 and 2, a disclaimer satisfies the requirement of this subsection if the minimum type size of the disclaimer is 7-point
Dude,
font.
he's so douchey.
Where I have a hard time, Jonathan, is it says the disclaimer must appear on the front face of the billboard. Are you saying, is that a billboard? I guess is what I need to to know.
By state statute, it's not a billboard.
It's not a billboard.
That is the maximum size that's in state statute to be qualified as a yard sign, which is used widely all over the county.
So is it a 4x8?
It is a 4x8.
Can you give us the size
I
of the statue?
can. I think I have it here. 1 second.
Oh, it's called a lot of 4x8s. I'm sure it's what's called, yeah.
Okay. So it says that this is not directly from the law, okay, but just quote Indiana Code. On sign compliance, my signs are 4 feet by 8 feet, permissible under local ordinances. Indiana Code 3-9-3-2.5 requires disclaimers. The minimum font is 7 point. We've already gone over the rest of it. But inside that law, it does talk about the face of the sign, the size requirements from it, and this is the maximum. I'll try to find that. I may have that here.
Jeff, are you aware of that?
I'm not.
Yep, no.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. For purposes of this law, a sign has a surface area not greater than 32 square feet. It is. That's a part of this Indiana packet.
4 days. All right, moving
That's what the
on.
sign is for.
Let me ask you, without seeing anymore, do you think that they rule in favor of Cheryl McKinney or do they rule in favor of Jonathan Culp? Just what's your thought? Okay. A 1 for McKinney, a 2 for Culp. Now, Catherine is saying that if we go on to Rebecca's at the end of the meeting, there's some kind of outburst. Is that what you're saying? From somebody else? Ryan Traub or something like that. I don't know who that person is, but we will kick over here and we'll see if we can find that out. I did not know that. Let's see what we've got. Yeah. Okay. So this is, let's see.
Clearly, the name, the candidate.
I do have a path that way.
Is this him? And so we're saying that this isn't on the county's site. Is that what you're saying? This, for whatever reason, isn't on. No, because it looks like the county stops. Oh, yeah. By the way, they ruled in favor of Culp. Yeah, you were all right. They ruled in favor of Culp. So why? Oh, no, it is here. It is here. It's here. Okay. Here. Well, we'll just, because here you can hear it better here.
Satisfies the requirements on the other side. And Mr. Culp's testimony is that this is beyond 12 blocks. It's larger than 12 blocks. So I don't believe there's a
All right, here we go.
So I move that we find there's no violation and deny it.
Do I have a second? I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Right, Tim, anything else? Tim, you have?
I don't have anything else. Now, is there any other?
Nobody has anything else?
I move with you.
Second.
We're almost done, folks. Just bear with me. We're almost done. I'm sorry it's a long one.
I'd say so. I just said that.
I have 2 that I have filed. One of them, the first one's on Catherine Callahan.
I'm sorry, can you speak up a little bit?
The first one's on Catherine Callahan. She's been
Don't y'all?
harassing me. She's been trying to silence my word because of where I work. Before I do start, though, I do have a past that they bring up a lot to try to discredit me. The past was over 9 years ago, and from what I've done from then to now, I think speaks for itself. I post a thing because she is running for election, so I'm allowed to post. I'm allowed to participate in the election, no matter, because where I work, I am protected. Well, from there, I have proof that Ms.
To an
Callahan
extent.
then
Set this hearing today, the person that we convention is not an opportunity for, especially in the middle of election season, for a person to make complaints or allegations of complaints, and not have that person present is on site.
Well, I have one. Then we can move on to the next one, or no?
If there, none of these are set for hearing today. In fact, I believe that the board has reviewed those complaints and found that there's no substantial reason for the election.
So I have that IC code, and you don't feel like they've been violated? How? Can you explain that to me?
Well, you know what, I think Mark did the best thing.
Or is the board just fear?
The only thing I would say, Ryan, is it's not set for a hearing.
Right.
Well, can we set it for here?
Well, would you provide what you got there through our attorney?
I believe he has, but these are clearly, they are threats on my job. They are threats to take legal action. That is voter intimidation under IC code 314-318. That is voter intimidation. You cannot try to,
Okay, all right.
you can't silence me because where I
Nobody
work.
wants.
Okay, I don't know what this dude is babbling on about. Let me be very clear here. He's right that people can't stop him from talking or posting unless or until he's on the clock as a county or city official. From what very little I know about this, I believe he works for the health department or something like that. Is that correct? Is that correct, Catherine? That he works, she's sending me an email here. Let me see what we've got. Please go to your email and bring up an email. Which email? Send me the email. Catherine Callahan. Subject, formal complaint. Formal complaint regarding employee misconduct, Ryan Traub. Catherine Callahan sent this to, I don't know who she sent this to. From Catherine to Beatrice Ramey, Madison County, Jeff Graham, Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Subject, formal complaint regarding employee misconduct, Ryan Traub. Dear Mrs. Ramey and Mr. Graham, I am writing to formally address a serious concern regarding the conduct of county employee Ryan Traub. Mr. Traub has publicly claimed that I was forced to quit and that I sucked at my job. I am requesting clarification as to what basis or documentation he believes supports these statements, as they were entirely false. Please refer to the attached screenshots which show these comments were made during regular business hours. Mr. Traub was employed with the Madison County government. Given his role representing the outreach program, this behavior is both unprofessional and damaging to the credibility of the department. This is not the first instance in which Mr. Traub has made false or inappropriate remarks. If he is relying on any documentation to support his statements, I'm requesting that those records be produced for review. According to page 31, section 2.919 of the Madison County Employee Handbook, any further detailed in Appendix 4, pages 126 through 128, employees are expected to adhere to standards of conduct that prohibit harassment, bullying, and the dissemination of false or confidential information. Specifically, under the non-harassment policy on page 127, statements such as, "I sucked at my job," or that I was forced to quit, are defamatory and potentially breach of confidentiality. If these remarks originated from internal misinformation, it raises further concern regarding whether confidential personnel information is being inappropriately shared. It also is evident that Mr. Traub and several members of Mrs. Mellinger's staff frequently engage in online harassment and intimidation of Madison County citizens without supporting documentation. This ongoing behavior reflects poorly on the county and creates a hostile environment for residents, employees alike. I would like to know what form or procedure I need to complete to file a formal complaint regarding his employment conduct. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. I look forward to your guidance on the next steps. Please note, when I post on social media, I support all my posts with research, documentation, and am not subject to subjective comments. Sincerely, Catherine Callahan. And I want to be very clear, she's sending this on October 22nd, 2025, and Catherine is permitted to comment 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, as at this time she's not a county employee, an elected official, or anything else. So she, as her own boss in her own facility, is free to comment how and when she sees fit. It might not be fun or fair for Mr. Traub or any other elected official or county employee or city employee in Muncie or Delaware County or anywhere else, but when you're commenting on the clock, it is not a good look. It is very bad, and people can have issue with that. And so it seems as though Mr. Traub is now reaching out and kind of using this to kind of reach back out and retaliate against Catherine. Ryan says, you mean the award-winning health department? No other health department does everything ours do. You're so upset that you sucked at your job so much that you were forced to quit, which was not true. It's absolutely not true. They're winning awards while you pass misinformation. Let's talk about all the great work you did when you were in there. You quit on Madison County once, and do you even live in Madison County now? Okay, so he had said this. All right, and then let's see. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a problem where this is a serious issue. This is not good. It's not okay. And Catherine's complaints back in 2025 have nothing to do with her election currently. I don't know what's going on between these two people at this point, but I do know that, Mr. Traub seems to be just out of bounds here.
But you are.
No, we can set it for a hearing. We'll set it for a hearing.
Let's set it for a hearing. And then Ms. Kapuzinski's literally having her brother threaten me just 2 days ago. So
Well, let's go ahead. And, we're gonna go ahead.
I turned them all in.
Okay.
Turn them all in.
We're not yet.
Well,
What would you, Ryan, we want to hear your complaint, but today's not
And
the
does
day
this-
because we've got to set a hearing and we want to.
Is this man an employee of Madison County acting this way? I mean, what in the hell?
Look at it, and he's had.
Why is he bringing this to the election board? This sounds like something that he would need to take to the, who?
I don't
The
know.
Attorney
Nobody.
General, the prosecutor, your harassment charge.
I guess technically he could say Catherine's bothering me and try to make a police report, but he would have to have proof of that, and there would have to be, and for the record, Jeff Graham did say that they reviewed his material and he didn't feel that it was warranted a hearing. Jeff Graham did tell him that like 30 seconds ago, maybe a minute. And so that absolutely was said. So yeah, I don't know, but I guess now they're going to have a hearing and it's going to be a whole big production. Let me know when that is, Catherine, because I want to attend that. That would be a wild deal because this dude is a lunatic.
It just seems like this is the wrong forum for this complaint.
It certainly is. This is definitely not the forum. And I appreciate that Jeff said that. Catherine, I'm telling you yet again, ma'am, this is why you need to be carrying, because there's more people than just this dude out there.
He's looked at it somewhat. I don't want you to think we're trying to, just.
Well, I think you guys are scared of them, to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll set up the hearing,
We'll set
and you
the
will
hearing.
get a notice.
They're scared of Catherine.
Both parties will get notice at the hearing, okay? Or for the hearing.
Oh God, I'm telling you, dude. That guy's. To whom it may concern, I never have a problem with comments from the public, unless it's a lie. I've had enough of the incompetent leadership of Stephanie Mellinger and her staff that are supposed to be outreach for the community, but instead are allowed to get on social media and try to entangle me into a situation when I was not employed with the county. So now I will move forward with my legal team, since no one seems to want to follow the employee handbook. At this point, I'm not even sure the purpose of a handbook, but I will say this: you can't use a handbook on some individuals and give a free pass to others. And so essentially, what happened here is Ryan has commented under her post, did really just post this? Wasn't there an investigation by Fox News when you were with the coroner's office? Oh, wait, here it is. These postings are my own and do not necessarily represent whatever. But is he making them on county time? That's the problem. Here's what you need to do, Catherine. You need to go on your phone or on the computer, and you see that thing that says 33 minutes, 33M. You need to click that, and it will tell you the time and date with which he played it. So if I can't do it here because this is a screenshot, but if you would go back to any post that he's made and you click that thing that says 33M, you can click on it and it will tell you the time with which he made the post. Any of these, okay? And so, Catherine fights back against him. So, yeah, the photo is timestamped. Oh, from when you, it would be. Sure. It doesn't show me the timestamp. But you would have it. And I mean, I would assume you took it at the time that that it happened. So, yeah, I mean, all of that would be there. I'm just saying that would show it in the picture. But so that's that. And needless to say, they had this entire meeting, and it was more or less a cluster. They ruled in favor of Jonathan Caldwell and everything, and that was basically just 100% a joke. So that was that. There's so much more to the story and drama, and then he gets on here and starts crying that I'm trying to take food away from him, and he's a single dad and trying to support 2 kids. Look, all he's got to do is fight you all. He's got a whole lot of time to fight you. He can fight you anytime after he gets off work, all night into the morning and until he goes to work. And then he's got 2 full days on the weekend. He just can't do it while he's on the clock. That's it. That's all he's got to do is just grow up and realize you can't do it while you're working, bro. Or go out and get, all he's got to do is he could maybe go be a mechanic, or he could start his own business, and then he could comment 24 hours a day. But he can't do it while he's on the clock as a county employee. Or he could, that too. But, look, I'm not saying that people are allowed to participate in the political process, even when they're saying things that we don't like. He just can't do it on the clock. That's where he messed up. That's the problem. That is the problem. Okay, moving on from here. It's very late, and I'm trying to shut her down. We've got to talk about the city of Muncie just briefly. I want to show you what happened here. There was a city of Muncie, a Muncie City Board of Works meeting yesterday, and this was the regular Wednesday Board of Works meeting. And I tuned in. I know Alva tuned in. I know there's a lot of people that watch this, that are starting to watch these now. And it's good because you get a lot of information from these various other meetings. Okay. And so that's it's a good thing to watch. The Board of Works meetings specifically are important to watch because of what happens there. So I'm going to pull this up here. The meeting lasted 8 minutes and 15 seconds. And I'm going to pull this up here on the screen and make sure that you guys can see this. And I want to play this for y'all. Okay, here we go with this. Here's the Muncie Board of Works meeting. This was at 9 o'clock yesterday morning. Here the meeting gets started. All three of the Board of Works people are there. They stand up to say their Pledge of Allegiance, but there's no sound. They sit down. I'm sure they're saying something about Lacey in the minutes, and they sit down. Mr. Usual gets up, and he's talking. Nobody can hear this, okay? And listen, I'm not muting this. I couldn't hear it yesterday. I couldn't hear it on my phone. I couldn't hear it online. I've got 3 computers in here that I'm looking from. I couldn't hear it from any of these 3 computers. You can't hear it at 1 minute. Okay, you can't hear it at 1:48. Okay, you can't hear it at 2:22 when she gets up here. You can't hear it at 3 minutes when she's still up there talking. And I'm pretty sure that that's Danielle Struble from the county. Sometimes it's a little hard to deal with who that is, but she's always hard for me to tell. I have face blindness when I deal with her. Then, oh my God, look at this. This is the beast from the east. It's Shireen Wegley is here. And the best part of the meeting is we didn't have to listen to Shireen. They actually did us a favor. At 4 minutes, she's babbling on. We can't hear what she's saying. At 5 minutes, she steps away. We still can't hear what she's saying. Looky, duck, no. Look, we've got the chief of police here. I'm pretty sure I know what he's saying, but nobody can hear, and I wonder why. And I almost wonder if that's on purpose, all shucks type of thing. You know what I mean? So he's up there for a good amount of time. They're up there. Here we are at 7:50. They're still there. No sound. We get people looking and the meeting must be over. I bet he beat on the thing and everything. Let's see. That's nope. They're grayed out. No subtitles. That would have been a cool trick. Well, let me tell you. So here's the thing. Okay. The thing is, oh, no, still back up to here. Just 1 second. So here's the thing. The communications director, Amber Green, is on spring break this week. She's away. She's on vacation. Everybody's entitled vacation, whether you like them or dislike them, whatever. She's entitled vacation. My question is, why can we not get shit done when one person steps away? Should we not be in a situation where we have people cross-trained? That's what I don't understand. So yesterday morning, I saw this nonsense, and I sent the following email to Dan Ridenauer, to Shireen Wegley, to Amber Green, and to Dan's private email. And I said, "Good morning, City of Muncie. I just attempted to watch the Muncie Board of Works meeting from this morning, Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, which you can find here." And I shared them a copy. And the entire 8 minutes and 10 some seconds of the long meeting was silent. Any thoughts? I believe I've heard Amber is on vacation, but surely there are more people at City Hall than just Amber that can run this equipment, right? How can we get the overall issue surrounding public access to meetings fixed, like when it runs for long enough stretches of time without issues, like back when Roger Overby used to run the equipment? Are you guys working on something, or is this just good enough? Is just good enough just good enough? Gotta love Muncie when you can hear it. And so that's what I sent to them, looking to see what's going on. Now, it is important because we'll have to get the minutes to this, but the minutes are never exactly like they should be. Always, it just depends. I don't know. Maybe I think Lacey does them, so they should be okay. It never works out like listening to it. Here is what I think, why I think this happened. Okay, I think the issue here is this, and I'm trying to find this right here because I want to read this. So this is a statement from Rick Yenser, okay, on Delaware County community awareness. And this is Jam It Dan Strikes Again. I want you guys to hear this. Rick Yenser writes the following: Muncie police will soon have a drone base atop the Delaware County building. Well, how can that be? The council hasn't voted. The commissioners tabled it. And then the commissioners then said some kind of spooky something at their last meeting about a lease. But yet we heard nothing back. I've sent out an email and I have heard nothing back from Brand, from Shannon Henry, from Sherry Riggin. Also not heard anything back from the Muncie City Police Chief. I've not heard anything back from Amber Green. And the only thing I've heard back from the council is they don't know where we are on it. So here is what Rick Yenser says. Local government lately approved a lease between the city and county allotting the mayor and the county commissioners to sign off on the deal. The term is a 2-year with $10 annual rent besides the city paying for the utility installation, the maintenance, and the facility. Police Chief Nathan Sloan initially went to Muncie City Council with an interlocal agreement this month that resulted in a delay by the council about the policy and objection from the public regarding surveillance and privacy. That agreement required approval of the city and the county councils to appropriate money. Last week, county commissioners killed the interlocal and then approved a lease requiring only executive and not legislative action. Why do we even have these things? Why don't we just have one form of government, like just have the mayor and do away with everything else, and just have the commissioners and do away everything else? Yeah, we can just kill that up. We don't need them. That's fine. We can just kill it. So they do not need legislative action. Muncie's Board of Public Works and Safety, appointed by the mayor, gave its approval on Wednesday. No public concerns were heard at either meeting. Nothing was heard at the meeting. Ted Baker, board president, pointed out that the cost of the lease, along with the setup and maintenance of city officers work with the prosecutor's high-tech crime unit, also found at the county building that area is secure from the public, and extra measures will be to protect the drone base. Police have used drones for traffic control and crime fighting in recent years, with officers deploying them from their vehicles. Flock cameras are used locally to obtain license plates and vehicle models for police investigations. Ball State University police also use drones besides state and federal law enforcement, while flock surveillance cameras are used nationwide. I still say the council should pass an ordinance requiring any lease required council approval. Yep, that would make sense. I think that any kind of lease or contract, honestly, at this point, should do that. So Dan decided to F all the people who were concerned. Absolutely. This is Muncie government at its finest, folks. And people might say, well, it took so long to get here. Look, there's not much going on. Nobody's talking, because the only person that can apparently talk in the city government is an unelected, appointed member to Dan's administration, and that's Amber Green. And
but
sometimes she'll
talks
answer
when she wants to,
Yep.
and you're rolling the dice of how snarky is she going to be today.
Yep. Sometimes you'll get a good answer. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you won't get an answer. Sometimes you'll get a smart ass answer. Sometimes she says, well, it doesn't, I don't, you're below me. You're below the city. So we don't need to answer to you. And moreover, she's not an elected official. I didn't elect Dan to hear Amber talk. If Dan wants Amber to talk for the city, that's fine. Dan still needs to answer to his constituents. And that's what I'm going to be pushing over the next couple of weeks. So we will see. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long one. I am so sorry, and I'm so glad that most of you have stuck around. Please share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. And look, it's we had a long show because we weren't here last night. And that's what happens sometimes, but we were able to deal with it. So I appreciate that. As always, you guys have been great. We will keep you posted on when Sheriff Sproles will be on his different places and let you know what's coming up both in Madison County and Delaware County and beyond. You guys are fantastic. Kate, do you have anything going on tomorrow?
I'm going to Tennessee tomorrow.
Okay. No big deal.
I'm going to go visit my family for the first time since last summer.
Not your family.
I know.
You didn't tell your boyfriend you were leaving.
I'm sorry, Kristopher.
That's okay.
You know, you got it. I'm playing the long con here, so you know.
Well, hey, it is what it is.
So
okay.
I won't be here, and I might not be here Sunday.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. So here's what we'll do. I need to talk with Rachel in the morning. I'm supposed to do so last night we were supposed to do an interview with Steve Duggar, but we didn't have issue. So if Steve is ready for tomorrow, I will do the interview with Duggar, and we'll just do the interview for however long we're on. So if we do that, I'll let you know. We could very well be here tomorrow. It'll be a Bilbrey Ran show. And so that'll be that. That's no big deal. We can do that. I can have Rachel help me out if I need to. And it shouldn't be a problem, but I will let you know. But definitely look, we'll probably be here tomorrow. Then we'll be off on Saturday and we'll be back on Sunday. So you guys take care. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a wonderful tomorrow. And hey, it's Friday. So that's good. All right. Take care. Hey, what do you guys think? What do you think of the new? We're getting ready to have a new total overlay look. We're getting ready to have some new stuff for the show. Tell me, what do you think of this? Doesn't this look so good? The Political Spotlight live Sunday through Thursday. Ooh, I look at that. That's so sexy. All right. You guys take care. Good night. Goodbye. God bless.